Heading on a road trip this summer, a short one or a long one. Before you even gas up and hit the open road, there are other things you want to keep in mind that are particular to safety in hot weather driving. Joining me now once again to talk more about this is Tim Parker. He is the general manager from New Country Motor Cars, actually BMW and Mini, is that right?
That's right.
In Hartford, general manager. Nice to have you here. Tim, we talked a little bit the last half hour about sort of common sense things that everybody can do. Wash your fluid, check your air tire pressure, but there are things now that are available for car safety that really come into the high-tech category. Tell me about some of these.
Absolutely. Well, we're sort of leading edge in high-tech technology with the premium brands that we represent.
BMW.
And we have Mercedes-Benz in Hartford as well.
Okay.
But I think we've got some images to show about some of the new technologies that are available. This particular one shows blind spot detection, so you can see on the mirror that it would warn that someone's in your blind spot. This is a heads-up display that warns people about...
It actually scans out for like a pedestrian that could be ahead, like a...
Well, yeah, the images are going faster than I expected.
They're going so fast, aren't they? My gosh.
We'll
repeat them. They'll come around again.
Right. But no, that was a heads-up display. It's like a fighter pilot technology where it shows, it displays on the inside of your windshield, right in just underneath your eye level, about your navigation directions, what the speed limit is at the current road that you're on, and what your speed that you're doing in your car at that time.
What is the technology that allows these new developments?
Well, it's no specific technology.
Is it like
it's
a
just
sonar, sort of, almost like you send out a signal, and that if there's something that intersects with the signal, you get a reading on that?
That would be what we call active cruise control,
yes,
where there's a sonar that then follows the car in front. So normal cruise control, of course, will just keep you at a current speed. But if the car in front all of a sudden brakes, your car knows then from the sonar reading to brake as well, and you can actually use active cruise control to take you all the way to a stop, and then start again without doing anything.
Yeah, no, it's very exciting. We see the commercials about this, and sometimes that's like science fiction almost, but it really is in place.
Right, absolutely.
With these cars, and of course, many cars, not just luxury brands, SUVs in particular, have the rear camera in the back, which I don't have it in my SUV, but when I get in one that does, I'm like, oh man, this is just so important to have because it's hard to see down below, down low.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, we got some other things here as well. The good old child seat. Tell me about some of your stuff here.
Well, we're talking about safety again, and a lot of people, we're talking about summer travel where people are traveling and they're often got bike racks, and of course there's always children in the cars. And when you go on vacation, you're always carrying more stuff. Well, you've got to be conscious about that. When cars are loaded up to the hilt to go on summer vacation, it's important to make sure that everything's safely.
Yeah, you can't even see out the rear view mirror.
Right.
Sometimes.
Well, that's very important. That you should always be able to see out of the rear view mirror. In an SUV, as you mentioned, it's very important to use the tonneau cover because, perish the thought, but accidents happen.
Yes.
And if a car goes from 65 miles an hour to 0 very, very quickly, everything inside that car becomes a projectile if it's not fastened down properly. So use of the tonneau cover in the back of the car is very important. As another example, we have an iPad holder. Now, if you had an iPad loose,
it's a missile.
Flying through the car at 65 miles an hour could be pretty lethal.
Yeah.
So, for instance, BMW invented now this iPad holder that holds it in place. It keeps your child entertained for those long journeys on vacation. But in the event of an accident, and BMW even crash test this technology to make sure that it works, that the iPad will stay in place.
These are so many things that people don't think about because nobody, unless you've been in an accident, had the experience of going from 65 to 0 and seeing the devastation that causes.
Right.
And we got to mention the classic down here, good old-fashioned bike rack. It looks like it's fairly new and high-tech, and it looks kind of complicated, but these aren't as hard to install as they seem.
They aren't, but you should always make sure that it's compatible with the car you have. And I think that's a lot of people then change cars and keep their old bike rack and then try and make it fit, which is, again, can be dangerous.
All right, let's review, shall we, Tim? We put up these tips a little bit earlier to do the basic things, including refill your washer fluid reservoir, check your air tire pressure, secure loose objects, as you were mentioning, should an accident take place, a cargo safety net as well, and check your car's towing limit. What do we do? Quickly, let's finish up with that. What's that about?
Well, a lot of people want to tow things, they rent trailers, etc. Well, you've got to make sure that your car's capable of towing that amount of weight safely, because your brakes are rated just for your car and the towing capacity. Some people can go rent a U-Haul that's not quite compatible with their vehicle. So you want to make sure you've got that safely done as well.
All right, Tim, thank you so much for
My
coming
pleasure.
by today.